La Llorona. You remember that one lady you saw crying on the riverbank? Turns out it wasn't your imagination. It was Mexican. Her name means the weeping woman. And depending on who's telling the story, she drowned her kids in a fit of rage, grief, or jealousy, then killed herself afterwards. Either way, she caught a lifetime ban from heaven. So naturally, when Maria died and showed up at the pearly gates, God asked, "Where are your children?" She said, "I don't know, my lord." Big mistake. Now she's cursed to wander the earth forever until she finds them. She roams foggy riverbanks dressed in white, soaked in guilt and swamp water, screaming for the kids she can't find. She will grab anyone who gets too close, especially if you happen to be a child, or just dumb enough to investigate ghost wailing at night. And I already hear you. Ooh, Latina mommy. Dude, Latinas already don't play around. But this one drowned her kids and came back from the grave louder. Pray she doesn't find a flip-flop. In some versions, though, she's not even trying to kill you. She just mistakes you for her lost children. So now you basically just got adopted by force. Honestly, I'd go willingly. No way I'm crossing a Latina mommy with ancient beef and no closure. I'd be out there joining the search like, "Is this your son, ma'am? Survival chance?" 0%, 10% if you have mommy issues. Tenome. The guy that makes you think twice about offering a high five. He's a Japanese spirit that looks like an old blind man, though something doesn't really add up. Then he raises his hands, and you realize his eyes aren't missing. They're just misplaced. According to the legend, Tenome was once a blind man who got jumped and left to die in a field. Brutal stuff. As he bled out, he didn't beg for help. He just wanted one good look at the cowards who did it. Said, "I wish I had eyes on my hands." And the universe, being a huge fan of random deals, said, "Bet." However, when the universe granted his wish, it forgot to include good vision. His hands? Still squinting. Guess he forgot to read the fine print. Anyways now, he's back. Sort of. Not as a justice-seeking ghost, but as a yokai who stalks fields and graveyards at night. He doesn't care who you are. Can't tell anymore because his memory's as dead as his face. If you're nearby, you're probably fair game. And since those hand eyes came without glasses, he ditched sight altogether and hunts by smell instead. Once he locks on, he runs faster than you think someone with no eyeballs should. So I guess he takes blind rage to a whole new level. When he finds you, you can probably feel it in your bones. And I mean that in the literal sense, since he tends to slurp them up like juice. Victims are left as nothing but a pile of skin, with the old man magically consuming all the bones from your body. So yeah, the lad definitely has a bone to pick. Survival chance? 4% if you ever spot him. Just turn a blind eye and pretend you saw nothing. It's what he's doing anyway. Kuchisake-Onna. Imagine dying because a ghost asked if she was hot and you didn't hype her up hard enough. Yeah, I could not make that up. She was once married to a samurai, beautiful but a bit toxic. When her husband found out she'd been unfaithful, he mutilated her face, screaming, "Who will think you're pretty now?" And she must have taken that personally, because she came back from the dead with one goal: make everyone answer that question. These days, she hangs around alleyways, usually wearing a mask or scarf. She'll stop you and she'll ask you one question. Am I pretty? When you say yes, she pulls the mask off. Underneath is a mouth torn clean across her face, soaked in blood, jaw stretched into a Joker grin. Then comes the follow-up. Even now? Girl, you're a reanimated corpse with a split face. So, obviously the answer is no. But if you say so, she slashes your face to match hers. Say yes again, she lets you leave, and then follows you home and finishes the job anyway. So, yeah, you're kind of screwed, and don't even think about saying, "What that mouth do?" The answer is scissors. There are escape tactics, apparently. Saying she's mid seems to bamboozle her for a minute. Others toss hard candy or coins and make a run for it. Not elegant, but neither is being cut in half. Survival chance? 10%, 50% if you're brutally honest and slightly rude. Bloody Mary? Do you know what happens if you say Bloody Mary 3 times into a mirror at 3 a.m.? Basically, your mom will yell at you to shut the hell up and go to bed. Still, that legend has stuck around for generations. You see, Bloody Mary is one of the most famous urban legends in Western folklore. The story of a vengeful ghost who appears in mirrors when summoned. The ritual is usually done in the dark, with only a mirror and silence. Say her name 3 times and wait. Bloody hell. That was scary. Almost as scary as people who drink Bloody Marys for fun. Tomato juice and vodka? Be for real. Anyways, no one's sure who she really was. She might have been Mary Worth, accused of witchcraft, burned alive, betrayed by her man, or all of the above depending on the version. Hell, she might be Queen Mary I of England, nicknamed Bloody Mary for lighting up Protestants like bonfires. History is messy. Either way, she died pissed and apparently thought, why rest in peace when I can haunt every damn middle school bathroom instead? Now she might appear in there and scratch your face, blind you, drive you insane, or drag you straight into the mirror. Some say that's the worst outcome because no one really knows where she takes you. Today, her story is mostly a sleepover dare. But honestly, I'm still too scared to try it. Survival chance? 15%, 0% if you brought her up while drunk. It's not that kind of Bloody Mary, sweetie. Kurobōzu. Imagine a musty bald guy in full black robes sneaking into your room at night just to slobber all over your face like a dog and leave you with a wet willy. That's Kurobōzu, which literally means black monk. Unfortunately, he's not here to bless your dreams. He's here to ruin your immune system. According to reports, Kurobōzu is a shadowy humanoid figure, vaguely shaped like a Buddhist monk. Except no one's really gotten a good look at him. His hands, unclear. His face, bestial. His tongue, hear me out. Once you see him, you start vomiting from the stench alone. Eyewitnesses say he smells like rotting tuna mixed with spoiled garbage. So, if your bedroom ever starts smelling like a fish market, he's probably in the house. His usual routine is simple. He waits until everyone's asleep, then slides in silently. He creeps up to your bed, leans over, and begins to suck the breath right out of your mouth. Sometimes he even slips his tongue into your ears, too. And while it doesn't leave marks, it does leave a trail of sickness behind. Victims who experience repeated visits often fall mysteriously ill, which makes sense considering they've been French kissed by a surprise monk in their bedroom. If that doesn't make you sick to your stomach, I don't know what does. Survival chance? 100%? But you'll never sleep soundly again, knowing a crusty dude might have been tongue blasting your ear in the middle of the night. Serbian Dancing Lady. Have you ever been minding your business at night and suddenly get challenged to a death match by a middle-aged woman doing the national equivalent of that one Fortnite dance? Welcome to Serbia. The Serbian Dancing Lady is a modern urban legend that began circulating in 2019 after a woman was reportedly seen dancing in the street outside a hospital in Zvezdara, Serbia. According to the report, she was moving strangely, like a distorted version of the Serbian kola, and when approached, she pulled out a knife and began chasing people at unnatural speed. The police investigated, but she vanished before they could find her. People keep speculating about her identity. If you ask me, it's probably just someone's grandma getting sturdy. Since then, the dancing lady has become a Balkan meme nightmare. Still, nobody seems to know why she's dancing. Maybe she's just vibing. Maybe she's on a side quest. Either way, do not disturb the grind. When you encounter her, she's always in Serbian folk dress, sometimes clean, sometimes soaked in blood, but the vibe stays the same. She's locked in. Face rarely shown, intentions unknown, but you show up during her performance, you might end up in a knife fight instead of a dance battle. So when she starts moving, you better move too, preferably in the opposite direction. Survival chance? 70%. You know what beats the Serbian Dancing Lady? An AK-47. Rokurokubi. By day, she's just your average woman. By night, her head decides it got places to be. So while her body sleeps, her neck quietly detaches from the group project and goes exploring. Once it's out roaming, the head gets busy. It stalks small animals, slurps up lamp oil with an unsettlingly long tongue, and sometimes just creeps up on people for the sake of it. Sounds kind of fun, right? It's not, because it's actually a curse. The name Rokurokubi literally means pulley neck, which might sound like a chiropractic issue, but in reality it's a supernatural punishment. Sometimes for cheating, sometimes for being cheated on. Honestly, I can't wrap my head around that, but I'm sure hers can. Some Rokurokubi have no memory of their nightly transformations. They wake up tired and confused, blaming dreams. I wouldn't lose my head over it, but clearly they did. Other Rokurokubi are fully aware. And honestly, you can't hate on that. In older stories, it wasn't even seen as monstrous. Just a soul wandering the night disguised as a floating head. Happens to the best of us. So yeah, she's not Rapunzel. But if you ever yell, "Let your hair down," just pray she didn't hear, "Let your head down." Survival chance? 90%. I think I'm just gonna head out now. El Silbón. His name means the whistler. And that's exactly how you know you're about to die. Because when you hear his whistle up close, he's still far away. But when it sounds faint and distant, he's already breathing down your neck. The story goes that El Silbón was once a spoiled farm boy who murdered his father for not making him dinner. So naturally, he cooked up the man's guts and fed them to his mom. She was not a fan. In another version, he's a tragic soul who lost his wife and baby and killed his father-in-law in a rage. Either way, someone cursed him, beat him, and unleashed 2 hellhounds on his ass. Now, El Silbón's a lanky, 30-foot-tall spirit with a sack of bones roaming the countryside by night. He stalks drunks, cheaters, and literally anyone else who's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's also known to stop outside homes, unpack his sack of bones, and count them one by one. If everyone inside hears his whistle, they're safe. But if someone doesn't, that silence means they won't live to hear it next year. Supposedly, the only way to survive is with a barking dog, a whip, or a chili pepper. The dogs and whips are tied to his death, so they trigger ghost PTSD. As for the chili, some say he just really can't handle the spice. Survival chance? 13%. Survival drops every time he hits a high note. All right, folks, that concludes the list. Now go touch grass and make sure to avoid mirrors.